Caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The Caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the Caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the Caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the Caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Good evening and welcome to the Caltrop. I am strangling apparently, but welcome to the Caltrop. We are your, of course, defense mechanism from all things ridiculous and dumb and all the propaganda that's out there, and we deliver it, obviously. We're your defense mechanism for boring, because if you don't have a good time on this show, I don't know what to tell you. But welcome, guys. I am your host, Mike Calderese. We have got an awesome show for you today. You know, traffic in my area is so ridiculous. Last Friday, it took me like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to get home on like a 45-minute trip. And I was so exhausted working, power washing in the freezing cold and the whole nine yards. So I wanted to bring you Friday's show today because honestly, you look through the news, we have some news. There's some things to talk about, but I miss hanging out with my man Mike. So you're going to get to see Mike, fresh Mike, fucking white ass Mike, the Slapmaster Mike. I mean, the man's got more names than Apollo Creed had nicknames. It's awesome. I gotta love it. But he's gonna be with us Monday and Friday tonight. We're gonna run the Friday show basically today, and we have a lot to talk about. You know, the Mike's Right's gonna start off with like a very basic concept. It's health versus health care, and I don't know if anybody. It doesn't seem to me like the argument is in the correct spot. Everyone's arguing about healthcare insurance and blah, 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 and what to cover. And people have, it's essential for people to have this and that. And I don't think we're talking about the right things. There's a lot of people that say we're not talking about, we're not focused on this. I'm not revolutionary with this, but we're going to discuss it because, you know, I don't know what it's called, Jubilee or something like that. They have where it's 20 people go against one person in an argument. And the one guy tried to ask, and Mike and I are going to dissect it today. He tried to say that RFK was ruining healthcare. So this is going to be an interactive show. I'm going to need your help because I want your opinion on this. Every single one of us have interacted with healthcare in some way, shape, or form. And as we go along through this, I'm going to need your input as well as you to finger the hell out of my like button early and often. And then, of course, if you could share it, that would be great. And if you want to ever give us money and tip us, there's ways to do it. You got to hit the $ down and Rumble and the whole nine yards. I'll get a website up soon enough. But I do need your help on this because I don't think this is a very difficult thing to fix our healthcare system. I really don't. And the thing that I think is way more difficult is to get people healthy. We're obviously going to be talking about it. We have Waltz getting so upset that he was called the R word. It's now the R word. You got to love it. We have Odell Beckham on how to live off of 100. How difficult it is to live off of $100 million. $100 million. Apparently, it's very difficult on. And is it a catch? I think we have that up there. Is it a catch? A very controversial call. I haven't understood what a catch was in the NFL for, I think it's about 15 years. And they keep trying to explain what a catch is. And I think every time they explain it, it gets worse and worse and more ridiculous and more stupid and more convoluted. But we're going to get to all that and more. But let's get this show started. I have actually got to bring this table a little closer to me, so I'm not reaching. Let's get the show started. The mic's right. Shut up and listen. All right, ladies and gentlemen of America, the land of the free and the home of the obese, where we think salad means extra croutons and ranch that pours out like wet cement. I'm a Mason. What do you want from me? With all the CDC news, let's talk about this brilliant little concept that people pretend that they understand. Healthy versus health care. Because see, Americans to me don't want health. We want subscription-based survival. Monthly auto draft, one click, free shipping. Side effects include explosive diarrhea, liver failure, anal leakage, and occasionally the state of being dead. But hey, ask your doctor if being alive is right for you. You know how it works. You see the commercials. But to the CDC, who do you believe right now, the old CDC or the new? I'm not sure I believe any, but let's dissect that, starting with the old one. You know, the legends of the CDC, the Hall of Fame, the oops, our bad, we fucked up, but believe us now, old CDC. The same CDC that said, bleach your groceries because nothing says healthy like seasoning your chicken with Clorox. Wear 3 masks because if one doesn't work, just stack them on top of each other like Solo cups for protection. Baby wipe your own ass because someone else's grandma needs good anal hygiene. And nothing says honoring your nana like telling her she's a worthless sanitation hazard with legs. These are the people who told us that vaccines are completely safe. Trust us. Don't ask us how we know because we don't even know, but it's totally, totally safe. They expanded the childhood vaccine schedule like they were stuffing clowns into a circus car. 3, 5, 8, 28, 72. And now the binder is thicker than the Old Testament and needs to be followed even more strictly. Yeah, this crew, this team, the Avengers of medical blindfolds, and they failed us when we needed them the most. But somehow, they become more essential. How do you screw up for 20 plus years and become more necessary? The answer to that is Big Pharma. Think about it. To us, they aren't doing their jobs poisoning us, but to Big Pharma, they did a great job. But now on to the new CDC panel. You know, the old CDC panel Lite, basically. The Biden-approved diet science, now with half the accountability, I guess. Everyone's celebrating the Hep B change. Like the Berlin Wall came down, we accomplished something huge. Like they defied the old guard and freed the people, or I don't know. But what changed? They removed the recommendation for the newborn Hep B shot. That's great, but that's it. 3 months, still there. 6 months, still there. This wasn't a revolution. It was cosmetic surgery. This was the medieval version of we cut our bangs, so everything is different now. This wasn't a split. It was a show vote, in my opinion. It was a magic trick. Nothing up my sleeve, ignore the billions behind my back. But look, I'll give these people the benefit of the doubt for now, because I like a bunch of them. But if history is any clue, this feels like a superficial safety adjustment package. Changes just big enough to get applause and small enough to protect profits. Because the question is never, what's best for the people? It's always, who owns the patents? Whether it's Republicans, Democrats, CDC red, CDC blue, Big Pharma is the third party that you don't vote for, running the whole damn country. So who can you trust? Because as for trust, once you lose face with the public like me, it doesn't come back, and not easily, not quietly, and not because you swap some board members like trading cards. But here's the real conversation nobody wants. You want health care, do you? That's what Americans say. We want health care. Then be healthy. It's simple. You can't GLP-1 your way out of a milkshake addiction. You can't. You can't pill your way out of a sedentary lifestyle. Vaccine your way out of eating like a raccoon behind Taco Bell. You can't do it. Everyone wants a cure. Nobody wants a walk. And they don't even want to take the beautiful walk on the beach. You want a drug. You don't want a vegetable. We're at a point where people treat Haagen-Dazs as a personality trait. Sorry I'm late, guys. I was drowning in my emotional trauma in double chocolate with chips. But the brutal truth, and you know it's true, is you have no health care if you're not healthy. I'm not revolutionary in saying this. You can't mask, mandate, inject, swallow, sprinkle, smear, or sanitize. But if you're still inhaling food, it's like it's a competitive sport, and calling an 800 calorie a day snack, then no medical panel, old or new, is going to save us. You can do whatever you want. The medical establishment may have shredded its own credibility, but we shredded our own discipline. And until both change, we're just a sick country having arguments about who gets paid to pretend that we're not a sick country. That's the Mike's Right. Hope you listen. Whew, I am coming in hot in the medical establishment. Let's bring in my man, the myth, the legend. Doesn't have his mic muted right now. I love it. Yo, what's good, kid? How are you? Fucking white-ass Mike with us on a Monday? What's going on?
I love it. I was just hitting the to make sure that, like, I was on. Because I heard you say he doesn't have his mic muted. I was like, was I being loud? What happened?
You're good, bro. So tell me, what do you think about this? Because, here's what I'm basically talking about. We have a situation. I'm sure you've seen this, right? The whole Hep B thing.
Yeah.
So what's your take on all this? Give me the quick skinny of the fresh mic edition of it.
Man, with this one, it just goes so. It's such a like you said, it's the Big Pharma. We don't vote on them. The problem is they work hand in hand with big food. They literally, when you realize it's anyway, long story short, man, the food, Big Pharma, and your doctor are all in on it together, making money off you staying sick. Period. The end. Most of the time, I mean, that's the deal. I mean, they want you eating food.
Are they incentivized? Mike, let's discuss that comment you just made, because I think that's fucking. I think you perfectly surmise it. Are they incentivized to make us healthy, or are they incentivized if we are not healthy?
Yeah, well, it absolutely. I mean, Chris Rock said this, I think it was Kill the Messenger like 10, 12 years ago. And it hasn't changed, and that is there's no money in the cure. There's money in treatment. There ain't no money in the comeback. If you come to me with a problem and I give you a pill or two and you're cured in a month, I don't ever see you again for that problem. If I give you a pill that you get addicted to on some level, whether your liver needs it to work or your lungs need it to work, but it fixes another problem you have, oh no, that's just a side effect. That's not by design for you to have to stay on this medicine.
Oh, but by the way,
more problems.
Being that medicine fucked you up, though, we have a medicine that's going to counteract that medicine to help the thing that we just gave you. I know our medicine didn't cause that problem, but now here's another one. Then here's another one. Then here's another one.
And I'm a licensed health insurance agent, so health and life. So if you need something, holler. I'm not good, but I know good people. But I understand, man, and it's people really forget it's for profit. A lot of times when people are getting their insurance, it's all about it becomes very emotional and very, how are they going to take care of me and this and that, and they forget that the insurance company, it's for profit. Basically, unfortunately, the product is you. You know what I mean? The product is your sickness, right? Because none of anything they do exists. Doctors don't exist. Pills don't exist. Big Pharma. None of this exists without your sickness.
The thing I think that pisses everybody off, Mike, though.
You're not needed. Sorry, go ahead.
No, the thing that pisses me off, I think, or pisses everybody off about the insurance company is this. They get sick. Doctor says, I want to put you on this particular medicine. It's off-label, but it's been said to help this, blah, 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 but it's an expensive medicine. You've been paying into healthcare for a really long time. You finally get sick. You've never used it before, really, besides the routine shit, you know? You get something, and the health insurance company says, no, it's too expensive. Now they are playing life and death. They get to play God. That's not what you pay them for. You know, I get it's for profit, and they have to make profit, but they don't have to make profit. This is the point that everybody's fucking missing. If your business model is such that you offer a product that you're not offering, so the problem is in the fine print, right? Because when you get health insurance, you think that company is going to do everything in its power to help you live. And that's the impression that they get. That's when you sell it to people, it's going to be like, oh, no, this is going to cover you. You're going to sell the shit out of what they're going to get out of the plan until they get to some fucking underwriter that says, no, I can't approve this. Go fuck yourself. You're only going to get this medication that's going to cost us $50.
Well, how about just being an optimistic realist who says, I'm going to, the insurance company, when I enter into this contract with them, whatever my plan is, they're going to uphold their end of the bargain. Just that simple, bro. Just they're going to do on paper what they've agreed to do for the amount of money I'm paying them. They don't even do that, much less actually take care of you and give you good. But just think about all of the denials and all the things that they say are covered. You should have no problem with. But are they covered? Are you going to have to fight your insurance company? Now, they might bend at the end. They might, go, okay, you got us. We can't get away. You know what I mean? It's going to cost us the money. But think about how they don't even live up to their basic agreements with you. So are they really?
No, they're basic, like you said, your basic agreements. They do not live up to it. And they tell the people no. You know who the biggest denier of healthcare claims actually is? It's the federal government. So it's not even close. Yankee 68 says, I hate that you can't get an honest answer to anything medical, political, legal, etc., etc. And listen, I fully agree with that.
Absolutely. Well, and that's once again because the secret is in the comeback, right? I mean, if we think about it,
there is no secret ingredient.
Yeah, no, the secret is profit. The secret ingredient is profit. At the end of the day, no matter what your doctor's telling you, no matter what you go under the knife for, no matter what you need help for, at the end of the day, who's making money? You got to ask yourself that. And how are they making their money off of you? I mean,
listen, I want them to make their money, especially if they're doing a really good service. Because it's a double-edged sword. It's about how many people are making money and how are they fucking us in the ways that they are doing it. One of the ways that they fuck us is they stop competition. We have no competition in what we do. I can't buy across state lines. I can't buy a plan that's just for me. I can't have a medical savings account. I can't get into a monthly only plan with my doctor, my local doctor. Why can't I go to him and pay him $100, $150, $200 a month to have, just a basic, I could come to you now. I don't pay. I'm going to give you $150 a month. But when I need a well visit or something, I don't pay. I go to you. I fucking get my kids there, blah, blah, blah. You order in the prescription. Maybe it even covers the prescriptions. Who knows, right? And then I have a catastrophic care plan. I can't do that. We have to have all the other things. I have to pay for, some little kid's hernia surgery in all, they added so many things into these plans to where it's like, oh, well, all these healthy people have to subsidize all the unhealthy people and blah, 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 blah. And it's, to me, that's half the damn problem. That's half the problem. If they would just stop that shit and let me buy what I want that fits me, because what they forced me into, Mike, is, especially when Obamacare hit and they forced me into saying, okay, I have to spend, wait a second, $30,000 a year for my family with an $8,000 deductible. Now, at the time, I think it was $24,000 for the family with an $8,000 deductible. Now it's over 35 or whatever the fuck it is.
Good Lord.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, that would be for me in the four of us at the time. But then they said, well, hey, guess what? Being that you don't have insurance because you decided not to spend 40 grand on nothing because we don't really go to the doctor, right? We're not gonna say, hey, you guys are living healthy. You don't have to be a part of the system and congratulate you and give you a tax break. No. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fine you $700 and then $1,500 and on it went. And then New Jersey said, oh, okay, yeah, you guys get the fine and then we get the fine and we'll tap on our own. And That's the thanks I got for not abusing the system and staying healthy, drinking beer and such.
No, I understand. I disagree with that. I think, but that's the problem is that we keep thinking it's on the man, this is where I break a little bit from a lot of conservatives. I do like the Trump idea of right to try. If there's an experimental drug, you should be able to try it. You shouldn't have to wait. But do I think that every medical procedure you could ever want or dream of should be paid for? No. But do I believe that we, as a society, benefit more from, a kid's broken leg being taken care of? You know what I mean? Somebody with a cold, a
Did
bad
his dad
flu.
break his leg?
Yeah. Or
Did his own dad break
leg.
his leg from beating him? Because that happens a lot. So I don't want to pay for that kid's broken leg. It's, dude.
But you are now anyway.
Dude. Not necessarily. That's the point. I don't want to pay for anybody's health care. None of them. But it is okay. So if you want to say you have some type of like basic care, but what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Because
that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you do basically emergency room level 1 care, and you cover that for folks. We're talking, your basic antibiotics, things of that nature. Your minor emergency clinics, your for-profit, which is a whole nother scam I won't get into right now. I don't know if this is happening where you're at, but where I'm at in my part of the world, everywhere you go right now, in fact, there are 2 new ones being built in my town as we speak. There's all these new little health clinics, health centers being built, all these, minor emergency clinics. These are privately owned businesses, most of the time not owned by Americans. This is those Middle East, those Indian and Pakistani cats are the ones really right. And hey, man, more power to you. You figure out a place where you can open up a certain business, and I mean, seriously, these places print money. They print money.
Printing money.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Have that shit covered.
But who covers it, right? Because here's the problem. When you start covering that, people abuse it. No matter what good system there is, and no matter what good intention you have, humans always abuse it and they always ruin it. And so what will wind up happening is that would be packed because people would be taking their kids to the doctor no matter what, every fucking 2 seconds. To me, it has to be a real open, free market. That's the only way this thing actually works. That's the only way. If you want to say, Mike, you would have me more convinced if you said, hey, I'm going to give every American 10 grand towards their own healthcare or 15 grand towards their own healthcare. Go buy what you want to buy. We're going to open it up to be able to buy any package, however the fuck you want to buy it. You want to buy the full comprehensive package to where it helps everybody else out. You could do that if you want to buy this. If we opened it up and had that and then say, yeah, give everybody, like Trump said, let's give the money to the people and not these big pharmaceutical companies. It's going to go back to them one way or the other. But if you gave me, and I make the same argument for schools, if you gave me the $15,000 that Brick uses for my kids, then I could probably send my kids to school somewhere, where I wanted to. Now, I'm not saying I'd change it, but I think the money has to come to me and open it way up. Why would you disagree with that?
Because it has to start from the top down. Because it's the situation where Trump goes, okay, I'm giving every family, the Calderese family is having to spend 30 grand a year for not great health care. Or if they wanted to get health care, it would be that 30 grand. Instead of forcing them, to purchase this product with that amount of money, I'm just going to give him that amount of money back, right? I'm going to figure out a way to make sure that amount of money comes back to him and he can purchase it. And let's just go easy and say 12 grand, $1,000 a month. Everybody gets it. Bam. Well, then whatever your $1,000 a month currently for shit would go up to $5,000 a month until you make sure Big Pharma and the medical industry at large can't raise the cost in the same way that we talk about. Joe Rogan was saying, why can't everybody just have 500 grand? You know what I mean? Get 500 grand a year.
That's stupid.
And it's like, okay, okay. So on a smaller level, I'm not saying stupid. I'm saying extract it. The reason 500 grand wouldn't work was because then a cheeseburger would be 5 grand. You know what I mean? And a car would be a basic, Toyota would be 100 grand.
So I totally disagree with that.
if
I
you
disagree with that
if
because you have to open it up to the free market. So what you're doing, and I understand how you're thinking about this, but I don't think that's going to be the case because when you and I'm not
because
for
Big
giving
Pharma's
everybody
had
10
our
grand. I
back.
was trying
Because
to
Big Pharma's
compromise with
still
you.
not pro-profit.
What's
Because
that?
because Big Pharma's had our back and not pro-profit. You're right. Big Pharma wouldn't
Well, how do you
possibly
get
know
them
that.
completely out of the picture? You can't get them out of the picture, Mike. So you're going to be living with them one way or the other because you need them. We like to hate on them, but we also fucking rely on them for our lives when it comes down to it to have nanobots clear our fucking heart tunnels out and shit. So there is something to say about Big Pharma, but there's something to say about giving me the control about where I want to spend my money. Because once again, if you're giving me 12 grand and I could take 2,000 of that and make a deal with my own doctor, that's something I cannot do today. That's not going to raise prices. That'll lower prices.
Because I have a completely different deal. I mean, that's your state, right? Because I have a doctor that's not on a plan. I pay him $100 a month, right? So, but it's excellent, amazing care. Shout out Dr. Aloha. And it's a couple of doctors, and it's brilliant because they see us better. Everything is less expensive because they have connections, right?
So you just blew up your own argument. You made my argument for me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, I'm paying $100 out of pocket as it is now. Now, if everybody got 10 grand a year, then all of the costs would go up, and I wouldn't be able to afford what I'm doing now.
Well,
because
I don't think everybody should be.
If everybody got 10 grand,
should get money.
I
was just trying to appease you on that one.
Your whole argument is I don't think Big Pharma would raise costs if they knew everybody was getting a kickback. Okay, sure, bro. That's your argument. Rock on. I feel like
they're already spending it anyway.
Evidence to the contrary of that.
So you're missing me. We have the whole idea is you only have a handful of companies that are able to produce any of these things. So
that's not true either.
No, that is 100% true.
Not true
First off, China takes care of 90% of our medical equipment.
I agree.
That is 100% true.
Okay,
how many different medical companies?
Are you saying
how many insurance companies do you have? How many different medical companies supply medical equipment?
Hold on.
I bet you count them on one hand.
Let's back up to make sure. Okay, so are you saying there's only so many companies that can do it because of legal regulations? Or are you saying technology and ability?
Technology and no, legal regulations. It's all legals.
That's what I'm saying.
It's all set up to put the power in the hands of 3 or 4 companies. That's how you break them. Doing what you're doing is saying, "Hey, everyone just gets this care." What are you doing? All you're doing is funneling way more money into Big Pharma.
You didn't even let me finish. Okay, first of all, no.
Yes.
Let's slow down and back up. Okay, 2 things here. This is a multi-tier complex situation. Hang in there with me. On the lower tier, on the bottom level, because poor people are costing you that 30, 40 grand or the lesser care or the penalties you're currently paying now. What you're not putting together is the poor people that need the health care that are already getting it is what's costing you that money. And you're not putting together that the mom who has the phobia with her kid, whether she has health insurance or not, that single mom, whether she's on Section 8, EBT, you know what I'm saying? Or whether a husband goes to work and makes, 100 grand a month, that mom is going to be either in those ERs where you cannot refuse care, working a system to get her kid as much as possible medical care, or she's just going to be, squeezing the money out of dad's paycheck. The mom in this country, the way medical is set up, the mom who is obsessed with her child seeing doctors, regardless of her income level, is going to be able to do that. The question is, how much does it cost you personally, somebody like yourself, out of your pocket, right? So, if once again, we made all of the base level shit or cheaper, because it's all gone up, because it's all just like McDonald's, it's all just like fucking Burger King, and no one wants to admit that.
Cheaper?
Let me fit. I can tell you.
Fire away.
Very simple. If all of these companies knew there was no profit to be had on these things, period, you can't make a profit on fixing a broken leg. You can't make a profit off prescribing antibiotics to a sick person.
How do you think quality? That's insane to me right there. You can't make a profit on these things. You have to. Where do you think the quality is going to go if
No,
you
you
don't make
don't.
if you don't make a profit? Yeah.
Where's the quality going to go on aspirin? It's going to maintain. It's going to
No,
be
on
the
a broken leg, a broken leg has to be set properly. There actually is skill and technique and schooling.
I'm talking the
and
basic
cost.
emergency room service that doesn't get paid for now anyway. You're acting like everything is all paid up, and you're acting like everything is all paid up, and there's no medical debt. On
No,
this
I know nothing's paid
And
up.
you act
It
like
sounds
you're
you
not
want to
squeezing it out.
explode the amount
So-
of non-payments.
No, I don't want to explode the amount of non-payments. I want to take the option for basic necessities, the profit to be taken away. You know why?
Well, basic necessity
Because
is a
then
broken leg, Mike.
What you're doing, you're fighting to be feed. So as long as you want to pay extra money out of your pocket and out of your taxes and have less freedom and options and less, effective
Where the fuck
healthcare,
did I
bro,
say
that's
less
fine.
freedom and options? I've been saying nothing but more freedom and,
And then-
options.
yeah,
more
until it's
more
time-
options is what I've been saying this
Yeah, no,
entire
no,
time. That's
you're-
that's the only way this works. Don't cut
Because
me
you're
off when I
over
talk
here in
either, though.
Dreamland, and when I say, well, we have to do this to give you what
What's
you want,
Dreamland?
you're like, no.
What's
Dreamland
Dreamland? The
is-
free market, the way it's supposed to, the way that we're supposed to be fucking designed.
Dreamland is no poor sick people affect my pockets in America ever. That's not going to happen, bro.
When the hell
Welcome
did I say
to
that?
the wo-
When did I say that? You even had
No,
me
no,
open to
you're saying
giving them fucking $10,000. First off, I didn't say anything about taking away the safety net that we have now. That already takes care of all the damn poor people. Everyone's so concerned about the fucking poor people. They're covered. They're not the people we have to fucking worry about. It's people like me we have to worry about. If you're broke as fuck, you're going to get coverage. People like me can't get coverage. That's the difference, bro. All right? So people like me, it's going to be 35, 40 grand. Nobody gives a fuck about me. It's all the fucking poor people. It's the mom. The mom gets whatever the fuck she wants.
I'm
So
not
do the
saying
poor
I care
people.
about them. Slow down. You're thinking I'm approaching this as you care about them, and I don't want to have to care. No. I'm approaching this as the amount of money coming out of your pocket, bro. You're not hearing
They're
me.
already all those people are taking money out of my pocket right now. All
right,
those people
and
are doing
there's
it, like
a
you
way
said.
to reduce
So what
that
you're going to
amount.
do is what you're going to say to them is, okay, big pharma. Now you're going to have to take care of everybody's general care, and you're not going to make $1 on it. But you cannot hurt the quality of care at all. You cannot have that. Mike, you can't have it. There's an old,
Yeah, you're right. Because
there's an
the
old
quality
saying
in-
in construction.
The
Hold on.
quality in ghetto, the quality in a ghetto Chicago emergency room of healthcare is so high. The quality of when my wife
Do you think it's that
when
bad?
my wife
I
lived
bet
in
it's pretty fucking
when my
good.
wife lived in southern Texas and had to wait 9 hours in a bed because of illegals, and then got sent home and damn near died, and then had to be
You're not
admitted to a
helping your
hospital for a
argument, though.
fucking week
You're
because
not
of
helping
what?
your argument.
Poor health care there because they didn't have what they needed
No.
as far as resources. You're like, well, how's the quality going to be for the poor people? You don't worry about it. You get a choice.
Bro,
do you want to fight
in
about
West
the quality
Virginia,
of the health
I watched them do
or do you want
heart
to keep your
surgery.
money and have more choice?
I watch these
just
old
answer
people
my
in West.
question.
I
Just
watch
answer
these
my
old
question,
people
bro.
in
You
West.
won't answer my question.
I am answering your question. I watch these old motherfuckers in West Virginia in some poor ass hospital in the mountains do open heart surgeries and the whole 9 yards, and they live to 90 years old. Don't talk about these people are getting super poor health care. No, they're not. They're not healthy people to begin with, and they strain the shit out of the fucking system.
Look,
And the
okay,
bottom
so
line is
we're
you
not
want
talking-
to
okay.
stop
You wanna
fucking
go
cutting
with
me off. What you want to do is you want to take way more of these people and you want to put them on a system, but then regulate what everybody can make. And I'm telling you right now, the quality is not going to be there. You're going to bring down the quality down to whatever level you think that is fucking that low in the first place. There's no way the quality goes up when you say you cannot make a profit, period.
A couple things here. One, I told you specifically, and I can show you data on hundreds of thousands of people who have horror stories about how poor the healthcare in their ERs are. Okay? It happens all the time. It's happened to me, it's happened to my wife. So not only do I have
But how do you
anecdotal
solve that?
real-time evidence, you can look at the numbers and the lack of people actually being treated or have to go back because they're not getting effective care in the first place in the ERs, which is a whole nother thing that needs to be regulated. However, okay,
But how does your
you're
system solve that?
saying, you're telling me, oh yeah, no, I guess in Appalachia this one guy's doing a thing. That's great, bro. What I'm telling you is, and quite honestly, you know why? Because it's a lockdown community. It's a community of people that love and care about each other, who invest in education and knowledge. Most of the people in Appalachia are extremely poor, but have you been around those folks? You come in, they will put you up. They will feed you with whatever food they got. Coon and hound dog. You know what I mean? They are wonderful people to each other, and they take care of each other because no one else is coming for them to take care of them. So they do a lot better job than in inner city or a border town or a southern Texas town that is controlled by liberals that has been taught that these people come first because you're white. Period. The end. Okay. Also,
it's not okay.
No, well, let me finish. No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying this happens. This you can't argue this part. And then in addition to that, most people who are on Obamacare, quote unquote, or have lower levels of health care who depend on emergency services to get basic levels of health care would say that it's not effective. Okay. So saying the quality of healthcare is just, great in all these emergency rooms across the country, when I know for a fact for the poorest people, it's the worst care already. So what I'm saying is, and then you hit me with opinion.
Why would you want to make it like that?
And then you're
trying to,
then you're trying to bring opinion into the debate, which
I'm not.
You can do, but I can't beat your opinion, bro. That's your opinion. And
this is not opinion. This is fact.
Okay, you
Mike.
said most of these people are sick already, and that's the problem. They're not taking care of themselves.
They are.
That is your there's a lot of rich people that are on Ozempic. There are a lot of rich people that aren't taking care of themselves.
Yeah, and they're unhealthy.
Cocaine that drink heavy as well. You're not having the conversation about them. It's not about that. Okay, you can't bring that into this because then there's also a whole lot of healthy people that get poor health care because they're just poor, but they are healthy. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of people that are
can't say
decently
these two
healthy.
Things, bro. You can't say these two things in sequence with me. I'm just sorry, bro.
What two things can I not say in sequence?
So this is what you can't say. You cannot tell me that you want to give everybody a base level of care like we have with poor people. Can we at least, me and you, real quick, yes or no question? What we give the poor people is basically what you want to give everybody as far as a government subsidized basic care plan. Yes? So what you're saying is...
No, I don't want a government subsidized plan. I want laws to be changed. It's a different thing. No, I want laws to be changed. I want
for
the
no
way
profit.
we do.
You can't
how do they do it in Germany?
Law.
How do they do it in the most successful countries on the planet?
How do they don't. This is a fucking falsehood. What country does it good?
Germany is a great country. The Netherlands, Norway, Sweden.
No, they don't have great health care.
How about we do this?
This is absolute ridiculous fallacies of people of places that have 9 million people at most, 14 million people, 13 million people. You're not talking about 360 million people populations. And these people have all the same problems. Waiting lists.
What country spends the most on healthcare in the world?
We do. Why? Because we're the most unhealthy. That's the bottom line. But hold on. You didn't let me finish my point. Mike, the things you can't say in a row to me is we give the poor people exactly what you want. There's no cost to them. They go, they get their care. And what you said is where they live, it's the worst health care. That's the result when government gets involved or when you say, hey, there's no profit motive here. Because the cost of their care is a lot of money. And it costs the people a lot of money to do it. And the government doesn't want to give them back the money. So the care always goes down when you have that type of situation. That's why I'm saying the only thing is free markets. The only thing is to get all of these big pharma, all of this big garbage out of there and spread out the money, open the market up to many different smaller dealers. Yes, change many laws. Let me buy however I want, wherever I want, superseding any New Jersey law.
Where does the money come from to help the poor people then?
We already have those programs in place. The poor people are already taken care of, Mike. The poor people already have health care.
Okay, can you pause? Let me just pause you right there. Those programs are costing you money. We started out talking about my whole point was how to take less money out of the hardworking American taxpayers' pocket.
How does that happen under your plan?
While still providing health care for the people that need it that can't afford it.
You said fantasy land. How does that happen in your plan, Mike? It can't happen in your plan.
It absolutely happens by making sure there's no profit margin. Do you understand? if you broke down the numbers and
Then where's the incentive to do good?
Because they still make a profit on all other products. Here's the thing, like most countries around the world that spend far less and the average person holds far less medical debt. Mind you, the average person who does do good, let me finish because we're talking about the poor. Now we're going to talk about the middle class. We're going to talk about the middle class in, let's say Brazil, far more populated, right? Let's say, let's go Japan, way far ahead of us in just about every possible facet, right? Let's go these countries where the average human who does pay bills and does pay their health care costs, right, carries far less debt and spends far less a year on their health care. Now, how does that happen? We're not talking about poor people, right? Now, here's the thing. Where does that money for those people come from? If you broke it down, it's about profit. The reason you have to pay 30 grand when you're not getting 30 grand is because profit. These companies, these big BlackRock that owns a conglomerate of hospitals now, all of these little McDonald's healthcare centers, minor emergency clinics popping up, Big Pharma, they all make billions a year, okay? That's where your 30 grand goes, especially when you don't use healthcare. You know what I mean? You're using maybe $2 grand a year by, doing your checkups.
I don't give a fuck about Big Pharma making billions a year. Let them.
But I'm telling you, in other countries, the reason they don't have to pay so much and carry so much debt is because you go, these poor people already get this stuff and there's programs in place. Okay, Mike, let's break down that program and how they get that stuff. That program is funded by you out of your pocket. And when they set that leg and that poor person never plans on paying, they set a cost at that, right? So I'm an insurance company.
There's always a cost with that. Yes, there's always a cost.
Let me explain it. I'm an insurance company. Okay. I'm an insurance company. So you break your leg. I have a cost set to that, right? Like say $1,000. Okay. It's going to cost $1,000. You pay your $200 copay or whatever the case. I pay the $800, whatever your plan is. There are different places. For instance, right? You got a 20% copay for minor emergency. Okay, cool. You pay $200, they pay $800, right? Well, then there's a person who comes in who can't pay anything, right? Well, out of that 1,000, say 150 of it is profit. Okay, 150 or 200 is profit, and the 20% profit they get out of you. So they know that the profit is covered. That's usually, it's not exactly how it works, but it's similar to how it works. So that $1,000 doesn't get paid by the person. That $1,000 has to get paid by you. Now, that profit margin built in is now socialism and communism and gets spread to all the people through their taxes with no choice. If they want health care, they have to pay for that poor person. Included in that poor person's health care they have to pay for is the profit margin. So you are paying for a CEO to have a private jet because a poor person can't or won't pay for their broken leg. And that's exactly how it actually works. And what I'm trying to explain to you, if you take the money motivator out of those poor people situation where, okay, the poor person doesn't pay fair, but now you have to hit a no profit cost to recoup from everybody else in your company that's actually paying their bills or from the money pool that comes in. So if somebody's not paying and their raw cost goes to collections, so because that's the thing, right? If I have a broken leg and I don't have insurance, I still get a hospital bill. If I don't pay it, it goes to collections, yet the insurance company still collects their money from the pool of other payers and their government subsidies, right? So the insurance company doesn't lose anything. You go in deeper debt, get screwier credit, right? And then the guy like you who has nothing to do with it has to come out of your pocket to pay for it all.
That's what's going to happen regardless.
Okay,
Mike, you're acting like we could just take profit out of everything.
No,
like
not
there's
about,
going to be anything. There's going to be anything in it. Like there's going to be. Yes, you did. You said we have to remove the profit margin.
I never once said everything. I expect there to be the 800, 900, 1,000, 1,200% profit they're making off of their Ozempics and off of the facial surgeries. And now it's like, what's funny is we lived for thousands of years on this planet, never
Mike,
needing cosmetics.
Here's the problem with this entire situation. This is what drives me crazy when we talk about this stuff. I work in a service industry. Healthcare is a service industry. Somewhere along the line, there's going to be a doctor, there's going to be a nurses, they're going to be front office secretaries. They're going to be all these people that are involved that have to deliver the service. Those people cannot not be in it for no profit. It doesn't work like that.
That's not oh my God, dude. Okay, I pay somebody, right? Like I have a small business, you have a small business. When you pay somebody, that's not profit margin. That is payroll cost. That is part of the cost of doing business. Paying staff to do a job is not profit margin. It is the
Mike,
cost.
Mike,
so let me finish. Let me finish, and then
it comes out of my profit.
Let me finish.
When I pay, no, stop for a second, because like you talk for a lot. I have not been cutting you off. When I pay my staff, that comes from my profit.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Don't tell me what it doesn't do. That's my money. That's my money. I am paying it out to other people.
Okay, I am sorry.
That's just the bottom line.
I'm sorry. You don't
money. It is now a service industry, so that you cannot tell me that I have to service all these people and I can't make a specific profit, whatever I want to make out of it. You can't tell me that.
Okay. No, you're right.
But how are you going to do that?
I'm going to
back
back
do you do
up
that to the regular person.
I'm going to back up and let you know that in just about every business class ever taught ever in the history of all business classes, labor costs and payroll costs are not considered taken out of the profit column. Usually it's part of your expense columns, and then profit is over here.
It's all expense, but let me tell you something. It's all part of my money. You want to know why? Because if I could keep that cost down, when someone gives me $15,000 for a job, and I price it out and say, okay, I think my cost on it's going to be $7,000 and blah, 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 blah. That's still my fucking money.
Okay,
I don't care about your business classes. It's all my money. So now if I could get that cost down to $6,500 or $6,200, now guess what? I just made all that money. I cut my expenses and it went into a different category. This is the point. You're not getting it. You're not getting this point. It ain't about spreadsheets and lines. It's about at some point in this situation, there's going to be a business owner, a doctor that has employees that needs to make a profit in this entire thing. That's the one that's delivering the service, not Big Pharma who's facilitating it. The person that's delivering the service. How do you limit their profit motive? And then if you eliminate their profit motive you're giving them work without allowing them to have the profit, what's the incentive? What's their incentive to stay working?
Okay, when I was speaking of typical and normal business terms, assuming that labor was part of cost, not a take of profit. Meaning,
it's part
labor,
of everything, Mike. You make your profit off of labor. When you cut labor, you make more profit. It's really fucking. This is really simple, basic level shit.
Let me finish, because your whole argument against what I was saying was taking the profit out of it for the big medical companies and the conglomerates. That does not mean cutting payroll. That doesn't mean cutting cost. I never said word one about cutting cost or raising profit for these companies off the poor people. What I said was include all costs. Cost means labor.
What if I'm a doctor who I want to make more profit than you?
If we're a big pharma company and we're talking about cost, labor is included in that, not profit. When we're talking, if we're having a business meeting with our CEO and accountant, and we're talking cost and labor and profit, when we talk about our profit margin,
you're going off of this labor fucking spreadsheet horseshit. You're not understanding what I'm talking about. At some point, there's going to be a doctor that wants to make fucking profit. And when you take the doctor that everybody goes to when they get sick, they go to their general practitioner or whoever it is. That guy is in it to make money. And if you tell me that everybody has a basic care paid for by a government and you have to remove the profit from it, that's the only way everybody can have this basic care. You're going to be removing the profit motive from that person. I don't care about labor or fuck all that shit. That business owner wants to make a profit. How do you stop him from making a profit? And if you get that out of that part of medicine, what's in it for him to even stay working? Fuck a spreadsheet. Forget about fucking employees, any of that stuff. Focus just on that guy.
Okay, cool. U.S. military.
Don't use the VA because that's a bad example.
No, not the VA. I'm talking about a soldier. What's his motivation? Is he making a profit? Or is he getting paid what he signed a contract to get paid for? You do know most doctors don't work on commission, right? You do know most doctors, it isn't like if I see more patients, I make more money. That's usually not how it works with doctors.
No, they actually have to see way more patients now to make the same type of money.
Well, normally,
that's
nowadays, they work for big conglomerates and they sign contracts.
That's because of their insurance. That's because of their insurance.
With a guaranteed amount of money, right? They sign contracts for a guaranteed amount of money with a bonus structure via stock options and 401k.
That's because they make profit.
Because with any company. So most of the time,
because they make profit.
Right. Bonuses and things like that. They don't make that profit and that money off of poor people who can't pay for Band-Aids.
Exactly.
So remove the profit margin that just makes sure insurance companies and Big Pharma gets paid 3 times out of your pocket. Derp. Keep the profit because when the stocks don't go up, when you take care of a bunch of sick, poor people who don't pay their bills and you have to put them all in collections and then pull that money from where? Your profit, right?
But again, take it to the next level.
And then you have to raise rates across the board for your actual patients that are paying their money. Trust, once again, work for insurance.
So you want the doctors to keep profit.
So when you do all that and you're like, well, they're not going to, no, that's not where they make their profit anyway. It's like, that's the lost leader, for lack of a better term. You don't really
they
make
don't want
any
to do
money.
it. That's why a lot of them don't take the government care anymore. That's why they only take private insurance. But you agree that we want doctors to make profits, right?
No, okay, I don't care if a doctor makes a profit. I want you to make a profit, and I want a doctor to do his damn job. Doctors are terrible. We have the lowest success. We have like bad healthcare here. And the problem with the bad healthcare is that everybody is fighting over this, where you're like, well, no, they got to make the money. Okay. But the healthcare is horrible.
Do you hear yourself
They don't
right
make
now?
the money. No, do you hear
your
yourself?
fucking job and don't make a profit? That sounds fucking insane, Mike.
What,
I don't want a doctor that's
soldier?
operating under that model.
Well, I know you don't live in this world, but like I do a ton of volunteer work. I know a ton of people that work at food banks and
what the fuck does that mean?
And homeless shelter or recovery shelters. There are a lot of us on this planet that don't make a lot of money. Okay. And I would rather the people whose job it is, first, do no harm. Second, heal as many as possible. I would rather their motivation when they take that oath would be to first, do no harm. Second, heal as many people as possible. And then third, make as much money as possible. If you get into the medical field to money grub and get rich, fuck you. How about that? If you get into the medical field to help sick people just to get rich, fuck you. Fuck you.
If it costs you millions
you know
of
what?
dollars to be a doctor, you should make millions of dollars. Period, bro. Unless you're going to change all the laws, unless you're going to change the tort reform and the whole 9 yards, unless you change all of that stuff, it costs a lot of money to be a doctor. They should be making a lot of money. They should be rich. Those are the people that keep everybody alive. I have no problem with them making money.
No, the nurses keep everybody alive. Doctors screw up way more. Nurses make a fraction of that money and work twice as many hours.
Nurses do pretty good for themselves too. I mean, nurses do pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
I know nurses personally. I have them in my family. I will see them today. I was talking to a nurse yesterday on the phone. That is literally my aunt. I work in insurance. I know nurses. I know doctors. Yet somehow I don't know shit about the medical industry.
I know plenty of nurses do very good for themselves.
Well,
very good for themselves.
I don't know which nurses you're talking to. Because most nurses don't do all that.
I sat next to a fucking nurse for years working in the ER as a float nurse. I know she made pretty good fucking money. She sat next to me for a year and a half.
What's pretty good money?
She was over $100,000, bro.
Okay.
Easy.
That's Jersey. And that's why you have to pay
it costs a lot to
grand.
fucking live in Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why you have to pay $40,000 for basic health care. Because I'm telling you, there are other places in America where it works and it works better, right? And it's not broken where people either have to live without. It's all good, man. I hear what you want, dude, and I get it. and it's that utopian thing where all the
It's
people
not utopia.
all the people who can't afford
I
healthcare.
think yours is way more utopian.
What
than,
you're
than
saying
mine.
is
Mine's
okay.
free market principles. Period. Mine's
me-
actually how we're
no,
supposed to be
it's not.
functioning.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not. It's based socialism. It's based socialism.
No,
with
the
people
fuck
at the
it's
top
not.
making the most money.
No,
Just
the
like
fuck it's not. Pay
base
for your
socialism.
own shit and let me make a deal that I want to make. Open up the markets. Let me deal.
And what do we do with the millions of people who can't afford
Fuck
shit?
them.
Okay.
Fuck them, Mike. I don't
Okay, and you
care
think
about
that's
them.
not gonna cost
Get
you
your
money?
own shit. Listen, our tax dollars already go to it, Mike. Our tax dollars already go to it. So I'm already paying for that shit now without insurance. Why do I give a fuck about these poor people? I have no insurance. Nobody is crying about me. Nobody gives a fuck about me. Why should I, a guy who's walking around with zero coverage, give a fuck about a poor person without coverage? Tell me why I should give one solitary fuck about that person when I have none. Zero.
See, exactly. I will.
It's not exactly. I
No,
don't care about these fucking people. Make it cheaper for me to buy fucking coverage. That's all I give
You
a
just
shit about.
asked me
I
a
live
question. I'm
healthy.
about to answer your question. I say the word
Fire away.
exactly.
You fucking don't hesitate.
And
I
then
keep
you're like,
talking.
it's not, and then you go. Because I'm trying not to yell and scream and answer intelligently.
It's all right,
and
I'm yelling
calmly
and
so you'll
screaming. It's all
understand what I'm saying. That's why I said exactly. So you felt like I was agreeing with you because I'm agreeing with you. I
didn't feel
understand
like-
what you're saying. What I'm saying is that, and that's the problem. I'm not, okay. We're doing the thing where we're mixing race and religion and we're talking about both and getting nowhere with either. If I may be so bold as to say that. What I mean by that is there's either the money, profit, business aspect of healthcare, or there's the taking care of the people aspect of healthcare, right? And I feel like we've gotten those mixed up. And let me explain. When I say who takes care of the poor people, I'm not saying the poor people need help. And you're saying, fuck them. I don't necessarily disagree with you. What I'm saying is what I feel like you're not putting together. Remember, work in insurance, know a little bit about it. What I feel like you're not putting together here is that these motherfuckers are going to get their money. And they're going to get their money from the people who pay bills. Okay, the people who don't pay bills is not who they're going to get their money from, dog. Hear me, just hear me, okay? This is why your shit is so expensive. This is why the average lower class, the middle class, the upper class, even American, struggles so hard with healthcare because of the millions and millions, not only illegal immigrants, but poor Americans that aren't paying their healthcare bills because they can't. Some of
They're
them
never going to.
choose not to. I know a lot of people.
We're circling, Mike. You repeated this. We repeated this already, right? So
no. What I'm saying is, you say fuck them, and I say fair. Let me finish. You say fuck them, I say fair. If that's what you say. However, like it or not, you're going to have to pay for them. When I mean
I already
live in
do.
a utopia world is when I say you live in a utopian world. I'm saying you want to live in a world where you don't have to, like the hardworking average. Like not just
Mike, you're changing the subject. No, I'm not going to let you.
I'm not. I'm trying to stay
you
on
are.
topic.
No, you're not. I've never said. I've
You're
already
going 2
I've
plus
already
2,
said.
2 plus 2,
Stop
2
it.
plus
No,
2,
I'm not.
And I'm going.
No, I'm not. I've already said.
And you interrupt and cut me off before I
Stop.
ever get to 4.
I've
You
already
stop and let me
said. You've
finish.
gotten a 4. You gotten a fucking 97, bro. You're repeating the same shit. I have never
repeating the
said
same
take
shit.
away the healthcare. I've never said take away the safety net for poor people. I have already admitted to you, and I said
You
we've
just
already
said
paid
fuck
for these
'em.
people.
You just
Yes,
said
fuck
'em.
them.
That's
I don't
take
care.
away the
We've already
safety net
we've already
then.
taken it away.
How is fuck them going? Well, no, not take away their safety. Okay, dude. You can't say
when
fuck
I
them
say
in one
fuck them,
sentence.
do you forget what I said afterwards? Why should I give a shit about them? I have nothing.
Exactly.
So what you're asking me to do
So
is
you
they
don't
are already
care
getting
about
it.
them. So
I've
what
already
you're saying
my
is you
money
don't
already
care.
goes to it, right? So why can't we have my cake and eat it too? My money's already going to those fuckers. I never said take it away from them. You keep trying to paint me as that way. I said fine, yeah, and then fuck them because I don't care about their health care. We're already paying for it. What about people like fucking me, Mike? And I don't want your government shit.
But you keep it
I want them to make fucking profits.
You-
I want to have my own ability to pay people money, and they could make fucking the profit I want to give them. This is what you're not understanding. The free exchange of goods.
No, but you're not letting me get to, once again, 2
Well,
plus
fucking
2,
get to it.
2
I've been
plus
letting
2.
you talk,
keep
bro.
interrupting. Promise to not interrupt for 2 minutes.
I don't fucking interrupt. I've been letting you go. Stop repeating yourself. Let's fucking get to it.
I'm repeating myself because it's the equation, and I'm going 2 plus 2 equals, and then you cut me off and go, "You've said 2." And I'm like, "I know," because I'm repeating back to
Fucking
what
haven't
you're
heard the
saying.
4 yet. What's the
repeating
4?
back. See, and then you go interrupting again.
What's
I'm
the
repeating
4?
back to what you're saying so I understand, because I think most people listening and most people who will ever listen will go, it's pretty easy for the other person to think that Mike is saying that it's okay if we take a safety net away from poor people because he's screaming fuck them. So if he's screaming fuck
Yeah,
them,
fuck
then whatever
them.
we got to do
They don't care
is
about
what
me.
we got to do, and that's fair.
You
Okay,
think they care
so-
about me? No. So
So
fuck
that's
those
why
people. I
keep
don't care
repeating it,
about
because
them.
I'm trying to make sure I understand what you're saying.
Yes,
Because
Mike, you
if
keep
say
bringing
one
up poor
thing and then
people like I
another-
give a fuck about poor people. I don't. We already pay for them. I've been
I'm
trying
not-
to say fuck these people. Let's
Okay,
stop talking
So
about
what
them.
I'm saying is, I'm not asking you to give a fuck about poor people. What I'm
I
saying
don't.
is, you are overpaying for their health care right now. And if you want to pay less for poor people's health care because you have no choice, but if you would like to pay less for their health care for the poor people specifically, you designate collections money, have no profit on it. It's collections money. It's already money that the insurance is getting paid 3 times on. The insurance company is getting paid 3 times. When poor Mike, poor FW doesn't pay his health care bill, they get paid 3 times, twice, and sometimes 3 times, right? Because this is how that works. They don't want me to pay my health care bill, because then they get to raise your rates, charge you,
You're
write
asking
it
for the
off.
same
They get to
system.
tax deducted off of their billions they're making. And then if I do want good credit or better health care, I ultimately have to pay that bill. So they're getting paid 3 times when I don't pay the bill. They're only getting paid 1 time when I do pay the bill. Okay? This is how it works, dude.
Yeah, so you get rid of that fucking dumbass thing. You don't change the whole
Then
thing.
you
and
have
say
to
nobody
cut
can
the
make a
profit
profit.
motive out of it. You
You can never
get rid
take
of
the
it by-
profit motive out of it, because then there's no motive to get better. There's no motive to improve. There's no motive to do anything.
All right, man. What you're at there. But what you're doing is advocating for a broken system that's going to continue
How
hardworking
how did
people
I
more
ever
money.
advocate for a broken system?
You're doing
Mike?
it as we speak. And you
the
don't
system
understand
I
you're
want
doing
doesn't
it.
exist, bro.
So
It does not exist.
and then when I try to move you a little closer to it, you say,
But
no,
you-
let's
all
keep
you
what
keep
we
sa-
have
all you
unless I
keep
can
saying
have
is-
everything I want. And I'm
All
like,
you keep saying
unfortunately-
is you cannot have a profit motive, and I don't understand how they're going to get quality health care with no profit motive. You're never going to be. I don't know how you can convince me of it. I know you've tried several times. To me, the only way you get quality is through profit. Period. There's a reason why people in Canada come to America for healthcare.
not much anymore, but that's
They
another
do.
thing.
They do.
Well, I
because
mean,
we are on the
yeah,
cutting
no,
edge
yeah.
of all this.
For
shit.
basic shit, for a sprained ankle, they come to America. No, they come
No,
to
they
America
wait
for
6
fucking
months.
facial
They wait
surgery.
6 months
They
to
come
see
to
a
America
doctor in
for
Canada.
tits. They come
That's
to
what they do.
America for liposuction. They don't come to America because they can't afford a fucking poke in the eye on a job. Okay, they don't come
No,
to
they
America
can't even go
because
see a
they're cut
doctor
and
with
they're
that, Mike.
bleeding out and they need stitches. They're not coming to America for that. Stop.
No, they're
You are-
waiting to see a doctor for 6 weeks,
Right.
to 9 weeks, to 12 weeks, to your fucking waiting list.
And we do that here too.
Why? Because we've installed this socialized type bullshit fucking medicine that you see in these other countries.
Right. And you have 2 choices. You have 2 options, Mike, is what I'm telling you, and you're not understanding that. 'Cause you're
No,
like, what I
I've been
want
saying
is
the same
utopia.
fucking thing,
And
Mike.
I'm like,
Maybe you're not
you have
hearing
2
what I'm saying.
options. You can either decide that all of them make less money and you pay less money and
How
keep
do
more
you
money.
do that? How do you do that in one industry? Then you're
I've
going
been
to take
trying
over
to tell
every
you for an
industry.
hour, bro.
No, you can't, bro. Because what you're going to tell me now, do you know how much profit, when you say that, oh, get rid of the profit in this industry, you're discounting everybody that makes profit off of that industry all the way down the fucking chain to
Payroll
people
is
selling
not
insurance.
Payroll is not profit. Payroll is not profit.
Mike,
Once you realize that when a nurse gets paid, that's not profit.
Everybody
that
is
paid
making
for
profit
doing a
off of that
job.
chain. It's not fucking payroll. There's hundreds of thousands of fucking companies down the chain of this whole fucking conglomerate, and every one of those companies want to make fucking profit.
So what you're saying is the companies need to make more profit, right?
100 fucking percent.
Payroll, they could make more profit, right?
Fuck, would you stop with the fucking payroll? This has nothing to do with
No,
payroll.
I'm just saying. No, it does.
No, it has
Because
zero.
You brought it up
I don't
as
know why you
profit.
got into fucking payroll.
You brought it up to argue profit margin.
No, I did
because
not.
you couldn't argue on its merits, so you had to argue paying nurses. Okay.
What merits to no profit? What are the merits to no fucking profit, Mike? Stop it. There's no merits to that.
Merits to no profit on the base level.
You can, and I'm telling you, you cannot fucking do it because there's hundreds of thousands of companies that have to make profits.
I'm going to tell you again.
It's not about payroll. It's about fucking profit.
Here's how we increase better health care for everyone who pays their bills. Decrease the cost of health care for everyone who pays their bills.
By doing what I said.
You fuck the poors. And then they charge you 4 times, like they're doing now. They're charging you 4 times the cost of actually helping those people.
Great, then how about
they make the billions?
Health plans?
They're charging you 4 times the cost to help those people.
Then make them work out.
Billions in profit, and you're defending
regulate their food,
and you're defending that.
Put them on drug treatment plans. Put them on drug test the shit out of these people. Make them only eat healthy foods.
This is when they have you can make these things happen. When they have because the vast majority of people who go into emergency, see, that's the thing. You're not delineating care. You need to delineate care. You're pretending like a facelift is the same as needing stitches or you bleed out.
You're making these arguments up, dude. You're making arguments up to fucking argue. I have not said any of that shit. The only thing I have argued for here,
where is the major? Let me ask you:
letting me decide where my money goes.
Profit in medical? Where does most of the profit come from? Where is the largest? If it were a pie percentage for your doctors and your medical people making millions and billions, literally, of dollars more off of Americans than any other country in the world, and I mean by fucking far. But you still seem to think they need to make more money, and you want to pay them more unless you can fuck the poor people.
Making up arguments,
but let me know. That's what you said. That's
Don't make up arguments about me. I'm not going to fucking let you. No, I never said they should be making more money. I think you need to be able to spread out the fucking money. Let me decide who I give my money to. Who's going to give me the best deal for my money? Who is going to give me, through the free market, the best care for my fucking money? That's it.
We have that here. We have that here.
For what?
For everything. I can choose all of my own doctors. I have multiple plans I can choose from. I mean, I do that for people. I literally move people from United Healthcare to Humana.
How many healthcare providers do you have in your state?
In our state? As far as, are you talking insurance companies? Let's see.
Insurance companies. How many insurance companies do you have to choose from? I bet it's no more than 5.
No, we have a bunch.
I bet not. We have like fucking 2 in New Jersey. And that's part of the problem, Mike. That in and of itself is the problem. Now, you cannot solve this by just saying you can't make a profit, because that's going to take your quality of care and it's going to take a shit with it. The only way this happens is you have to have way more healthcare providers. I should be able to buy one of your plans. You should be able to sell this fucking thing to me in New Jersey, however you got it. We have to have a much bigger pool. There has to be way more options for everybody. That's the only way this works. More options, more choice, more affordability. When you have the free market competing with each other, that's the only way prices come down. I don't want these people to make more profits. I want them to make profit because that's the only incentive for them to deliver quality.
Okay, we have 7. We have 7 official.
That's still not a lot.
And then we have multiple cafe or optional. It just says multiple because it doesn't know. Because, yeah, I mean, I could start my own insurance agency tomorrow. And I am officially
how amazing would that be is if I could take one of your 7, or if I could search your 7 to go and compete against the 2 options that I have, because I can't do that right now. I can't buy from you. Yeah, your state's not as crazy as mine. I live in the communist states of New Jersey. So that is part of the problem. I'll concede that, right? But why can't I go and take one of your options? Maybe it creates 15 different options in your area. When you have that much bigger, more of a market, maybe now all of a sudden you have now not 7, now you have 15 plus the subs. Now what happens? Now you have more people competing. You have different pools of people that are competing. Our problem with our system is there is no incentive for any type of competition. We have to open it up that way and free me up to be able to do whatever the hell I could do. And it doesn't exist across all states. It doesn't.
My man,
and that's the only way. Last words on it, because we're actually 10 minutes over.
I know. What I'm trying to tell you, man, is that if insurance companies stop getting paid 3 times for everyone who can't pay their bill, and only 1 time for everyone who did pay their bill, there would be a lot less incentive for them to keep this system running the way it is. It would cost you a lot less, and it would provide you with better health care, because then our tiered medical system would be a truly tiered medical system. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be mad because once again, that,
I don't see better healthcare, Mike.
Okay.
I just don't see it.
Well, that's okay. You understand drugs are on tiers, right? Like there's tier 1 drugs, tier 2 drugs.
Yes, and I hope what Trump said with the preferred nation status, that we can actually get our fucking drug prices way down with that. Listen, I'm never going to defend that type of part of the system. What I'm defending is the profit
healthcare should be on the
system.
What I'm saying is healthcare should be on the same level. Someone like you who pays all of your health or can pay your healthcare bills, meaning if you broke a leg tomorrow and went to the hospital, you would pay that bill. It would not go into collections. They would not have to write it off.
You could
they would not have to put that
$25 a week or whatever the fuck it is, $15 a week, as long as you're making good faith payments. They can't take you to collections or any of that shit, right? So I mean, this is, even if you go to the hospital, you get a fucking really expensive bill. If you're showing them that you're making payments week after week after week, it doesn't matter. You don't have to pay them fucking $300 or it's none of that shit. You show good faith payments. You can pay them, and you can pay them for as long as the fuck as you want.
I agree. I don't disagree. I agree. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is we have a system where when people don't pay their medical bills, right, the insurance company gets paid way more, right, than if people do
I'm cool with that, bro. You said that, and I'm not defending that part of it.
That's a broken system.
Yes, so stop. So fix that fucking part of it.
I'm telling you
cannot take the profit margin.
How do you propose we fix that?
How do you propose we fix what?
How do you propose we fix that broken system?
I think I proposed 900 fucking times. Fuck poor people again. I don't care about them.
No. What I'm saying is,
I don't care about these fucking poor people.
I'm asking you specifically,
Mike.
man.
Yes, Mike, you're on your own.
I'm saying,
figure it the fuck out.
I'm saying insurance companies get paid 3 times on people who don't pay their bills and only 1 time on people who do. And what I'm saying is that's a broken system.
And why is that?
How do you propose we fix that?
Because government corruption, and you have a ridiculously, you have an overweight government who has no idea how to manage their own fucking systems. So they want to double and triple pay. You're talking about these people making money off of corrupt fucking actions. Now, how do you take care of that? I don't know. Maybe actually have a service that's going to overwatch these fucking people to where we don't have that much fraud that's leaving. Maybe actually have real underwriters. I don't know that maybe we could create a couple jobs that are meaningful. But what you're doing is you're saying, well, these guys are fucking horrible, so nobody can make money. And to me, that's not.
No, I want everybody to make money. I want them to make money where they're
companies. You have to have more of them.
Look,
incentivize people to open up insurance companies. You want real answers? Here you go. No tax breaks for any new insurance company that started for the next 10 fucking years, or no taxes for any new insurance company started over the next 10 years. What we have to do is we have to incentivize.
They don't pay taxes anyway, dog.
I'm just, bro. They're paying taxes.
Insurance companies really don't pay taxes,
bro.
I mean, they do.
They're paying taxes on fucking something. What you have to do is incentivize more competition.
And I just told you they pay taxes in the form of write-offs for people who don't pay their bills. That's where most of the tax pay money that insurance companies get is write-off money for people not paying their bills. That's how they get paid on it the first time. Then the second time is that they then spread that cost out to everyone who pays their bills. And then the third time is if the person actually pays their bills. So if I don't pay my bill,
Yes.
and they get a collection company involved, okay, that means they get to pay taxes, meaning write it off, meaning they get to put that money back in their pocket. They get to charge you that cost as the person who's paying your bill and taxpayer. And if I ever, and then in collections, I have to pay it, right? If I want my credit to be
so
right.
how are you
What
gonna
I'm saying is, and not for gallbladder surgery, not for heart surgery, not for lung replacement, not for kidney surgery, unless it's like a basic, kidney stone removal, which is quick and easy. But for those types of things, you have a tiered system where people go in, especially it could be PAs, it could be fourth-year med students. Most nurses I know are better and know more than most doctors I know at this point, quite honestly. I trust nurses because I talk to doctors and nurses on a regular basis, have them on my other shows on a regular basis. I can tell you personally, I prefer nurses and what they have to say to doctors, because doctors now usually sit behind a screen, look at stuff, they ask AI a lot of shit, and then they come out and give a diagnosis, prescribe you 14 pills, and the nurse has to do all the work, right? So I prefer nurses to doctors, quite honestly, when I'm talking about my personal health care, right?
So should nurses make a profit?
Huh?
Should a
They should
nurse
get
be able to
paid
make a
well.
profit?
No, because it's not sales. It's not a for-profit industry, right? I mean, that's the thing. Should the
Wrong.
McDonald's worker make a profit?
Wrong.
Should the person throwing you your fucking Big Mac make a profit? Or do they get paid an amount? What's
my
a
old
profit
co-host
to a
worked
nurse?
her
What is
ass
a
off.
profit? Let's just establish that first. What is a profit for nurse? What's profit? Them just getting paid money to
Okay,
do their
so
job?
again, Mike, this is what
What
you're
is
fucking
profit?
missing. This is what you're missing constantly. Let's just say the nurse practitioner that I sat next to for how long? Okay, she was on payroll. All of a sudden, she goes into a practice where she is now the owner of the practice. What she charges and what she makes is her profit.
A private practice, you mean?
Yes.
Where people have appointments and she can reject them based on insurance, correct?
What if she accepts all of it,
Versus,
Mike?
versus she opens her own emergency
this is
room?
even better. This is even better. What's her incentive to take these poor people if she can't make the profit off of the government paying for it? What's going to be her incentive to take people if she can't make money off of seeing them?
She won't.
Just by
if
the
she has a
goodness of
private
her
practice.
fucking heart?
She won't if she has a private practice. She will deny them and say you have to find a doctor that you can A, either afford, or B, take your
Why?
insurance.
Exactly. Why?
That's how it works now.
Because they don't make a profit off
Those aren't the people I've been talking about this whole time. Your problem is you think everyone has that option. No, a doctor or profit as we speak. I'm not talking about anyone that can set up an appointment and go see a doctor. That's not even the money. That's a completely different world.
You clearly didn't understand what the fuck I just said.
You are talking like you're basically
clearly didn't
talking
understand
like
what the fuck I just said.
high
You
level
did not understand what I
4-star
said.
Ramsey restaurant versus
No,
McDonald's.
the fuck I'm not. I talked about a nurse practitioner. I gave you a nurse that was to start up
And what
her
was
own
your
business.
question?
Let's
If
just
she
say, let's
opens
just
her
say
own
5
practice,
nurses.
if she
Let's
goes
say
into
5
business
nurse
for
practitioners get
herself,
together and start their own practice.
yes,
Right? Should they be able to make profit?
they're going to, and they're going to deny people. I'm talking about the ERs that cannot deny health coverage. You
So
have
you want everybody to
Oh
you
my
want everybody for the basic care to go to an ER every time?
No, they do. Poor people do. They can't go see a regular doctor.
Bullshit.
Do you
Poor
not
people do
understand?
go see a
Poor
regular
people
doctor.
don't
They
get to
have
go
them.
see regular doctors unless they have Obamacare. Dude, there are doctors I
And
can't
why don't they
because
go
of
see the
my
regular
insurance.
doctors, Mike?
There are doctors I can't see because of my insurance.
Why don't they go see? Why can't they see the regular doctors? Because the
they're
regular
poor.
doctors don't make fucking money.
Exactly.
Thank you guys very much, dude. I appreciate it. Let's fucking, because we're already way over. Hey, that was an awesome lively debate. I love when we fucking
Come
yell
on,
at
man.
each
I'd
other.
like to finish, but it's fine, dude. I'm talking
We're
about.
not going to finish this fucking debate, Mike. We've been going around in circles for the last hour and fucking 10 minutes. You clearly don't understand where I'm coming from with this profit stuff. You don't.
No,
I don't see how you can just
don't
take
understand,
profit out of it.
And no offense, bro, but you don't understand how the medical industry works. So
I know
you want
exactly
it one
how the
way,
fucking
and I
medical
keep
industry
going, well, it
works.
actually works this way, and you're
You
like,
cannot
no,
take
sir.
profit out of the industry. and,
Yes, you
and
can.
remain quality. No, the
I'm
fuck
not saying
you
take all
cannot.
profit. That's the thing. Not all profit. Like I said, I want them to make
But you
lots
can't
of
pick and
money.
choose what profit people get to make.
Yes, you
That's
can.
that's called communism.
That's the government does it now. It's going
Yes,
on.
that's
as we
called
speak.
that's the reason why we're in the position we're in.
No, you can say this. You can say this in the same way. I mean, it's communist and we all wear seatbelts. Fair. But you can say that that's a law, too. Yeah, you can say it's communist that we ever get stopped for doing anything in our car. My car is my private property that I own wholly. And if I am paying for my insurance, you shouldn't ever be able to stop me. But is the world safer
Like,
because of
you're
traffic
called
stops?
regulating
Yes.
regulating free trade and free business. This is what you're regulating. And the bottom line is when you over-regulate it like we're at now, you no longer have it free.
Okay,
So then it's subsidized care. And then what happens is
there's
you're
the
in the
error.
situation where
There's
we're
the
at
error.
right
Just
now.
so you know, you just hit your error. You just hit where
I didn't hit
you're
no
hemmed
fucking
up
error.
here.
It's
No.
subsidized fucking care, Mike.
You're
There's no
saying
error.
forced because, once again, it's forced treatment. If I'm poor and I go to the ER, that is forced cost. That is forced treatment. It's not
I
free market.
reject wholeheartedly
It's
that
not
poor
free
people
market.
only could go to the ER. I resoundingly reject that.
Unless they have Obamacare or some other care.
There's fucking clinics everywhere, bro.
Yes,
These immediate care units take a lot of this fucking Obamacare shit. A
Immediate care.
lot of the medical
Right.
care,
If
a lot
you
of the New
don't
Jersey
have
family care.
What I'm saying is,
there's
and
more
even
than
if you do,
fucking
even if
ERs.
you do have that, they still can deny you care. Absolutely. Are you telling me doctors' offices right now in America can't deny care based on your insurance? Because they can, and they do on a
But
daily
Mike,
basis.
there are doctors that have care. You can't just say they always have to go to the ER. No, you know who does that? The illegals that fucking don't have any care. They go to the doctor first.
And you don't
They
think
go to
there's
the
any
ER
white
for all their
people
care.
doing that too, though? You think there's no white or black or brown people that were born here doing the same thing? Only
And I'm
going
not saying
to
it's
the
fucking
ER.
right, but most
Because
of
they have
the
no
time
other
it's fucking
healthcare.
illegals, and you know it is.
Yeah, no, mainly it's illegals. Absolutely. Well, not mainly. I'd say it's about 50-50. And this is
I'll
from
give
someone
you
who
that.
works in the
Still
industry.
a lot of fucking people.
And this is someone who works in the industry and sees where the costs are and where they're coming from. I'll send you the emails. I get behind the scenes emails. I know when rates are going up and how much they're going up before other people because I took the test, paid the money, do the continuing education. I am a licensed life and health insurance agent legally in the state of Oklahoma and greater America. I can talk to and consult on these things. So I know this stuff a little bit because I work in this business a little bit. And last year it was what I did full time. I was a full-time life insurance and health insurance agent. I've done this. I know where the costs go. I know where they come from. I know how you're getting fucked over. And I feel like I have a pretty good idea of how to maintain profit because there's no profit in it anyway. And then have you pay less. Because if a doctor knows that he's not going to have to be in the ER taking care of a bunch of illegals, but he knows that he's going to see a Mike Calderese and that bill's going to be paid, right?
He knows
He's
gonna
gonna
be
make
in the
money.
ER with illegals anyway. That's
Huh?
going to be here. You're going to have another fucking Democrat that's going to let 20 million in. The illegals, they're going to be taking care of these motherfuckers anyway, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. They have a choice right now. And they still have a choice. And there will be doctors, and especially like guys trying to get their last credits or, doctors trying to start a practice, but, getting years in, the beginning doctors, that kind of thing. And I mean, I have a ton of people lately, and I don't know if you don't go to the doctor. People who go to the doctor just see the PA. They just see the doctor's assistant, really. And they never even see the doctor a lot of time, especially if it's a specialist. So anyway, long story short, man, and I'm not saying take the profit out of everything, if just out of the very basic ER care, only ER now, if we took the basic ER care for people who had no health coverage and that with a big profit chunk in
Hospitals
it
go out of business.
was sent, that's what's, okay, man. What I'm saying is it
Hospitals
happens
go out
right
of
now.
fucking business. They're not making.
The only thing
they
I'm
don't
saying
operate
is
a lot of money as we speak, bro.
Okay, the only thing I'm saying change is that when that bill goes to collections and it gets written off, it's a smaller amount because it doesn't include a profit margin in it. Period. The end. That would save us billions of dollars a year. Period. The end. That's what I'm saying.
And
Bills
it'd
that don't
be
get paid
cheap.
already.
It'd be cheap Mexican fucking care. Don't give a shit. That's what it's going to be, bro. The bottom line is when you have no profit, you have no incentive, and then when there's no incentive, it's mediocre at best.
You got to come to the hood.
To me,
man.
that's just the reality.
You got to come to the hood and see how people get treated and care. People bleeding, laying on a gurney in the fucking waiting room for 6 hours. 8 hours, 9 hours at a time.
That's the care.
Literally
you're
laying
for.
on a gurney. This is
That's
real
the care
life.
You think it's going to get better?
No, I don't think it's going to get any worse. I don't
it's
think
going to get way
fact,
worse
if
you do what you want.
Fact,
it's going to get way worse.
I do think it'll get better. You know why? Because it'll cause separation. And if it causes separation, then that is its own thing. And it's not mixed with you. And the reason they're doing what they're doing is they need the people with money to come to the same places as the poor people so they can overwrite, underwrite, and balance their budget versus taking people like you out of that situation, keeping those people in that situation, taking the profit margin out of that situation and making sure that is taken care of by them, where you are taken care of by the people you want. So people have a choice.
Lot, Mike,
you're not stuck paying for the poor people's health care like you are now. You're not stuck with that.
Do you think I'm never going to be stuck with paying with poor people's health care? That is such a fucking fallacy. Dude, there's no way in hell we are never going to be paying for poor people's health care. People are going to be walking into the
I'm
ER
saying with your insurance, with your taxes,
time because they don't live healthy. Poor people are not healthy people.
I'm saying as a healthcare professional who provides healthcare for a living, I'm saying a lot of the money you pay goes specifically for people who can't afford their health care.
Mike, I understand
a lot of that.
You've repeated it fucking 19 times.
Up to
I get that.
Up to 60% of that is raw profit. Okay? So what they're doing is profiting off the poorest people by stealing from you. Two ways. From the taxes they should be paying and the health care you're paying. They're stealing from you to underwrite the poor people because of the profit margin. The only thing that is more money for them. And I'm saying, don't take the people who are going to pay. If there's profit, take it. If there's profit to be had, absolutely. But you can't get blood from a potato. And if the potato owes you money, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, yeah, it's acting.
I don't, because the poor argument is just such a fucking horseshit argument. It's just, Mike, it's just such a horseshit argument because the system.
What do you think my argument is?
What I think you're saying is you have a select group of people that you want to limit the profit on in a certain way that you think it's not going to negatively affect all of the care going down, but it's somehow going to magically get it better, right? And I see. There's a lot of comments, but Mrs. Hall says, "I love you, calories, but you have no idea what you're talking about." I think I have a very good idea what I was talking about. I sold insurance at one point as well. It was years back.
So I'll get a nurse. How about I get a nurse and a doctor and me, a health insurance person, all on the show together to tell you don't understand what we're saying here? Would you agree then, or would you say we're all stupid?
Bring a doctor on, bring a nurse on, because I sat next to one and I know the fucking problems in the system.
Dr. Lob
and nothing for nothing. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is the bottom line. I'm going to tell you about you, your nurse, and your fucking doctor. You all want money. You all want to make money. And that comes from whoopity-doo fucking profit. Every time you sell a fucking plan, that insurance company that you fucking hate is making more money, bro. They're making money and they're making money and they're making money.
I just told you I don't have a problem. I told you I have no problem where there is profit for profit to be had. I have zero problem with that.
Everywhere needs
I
to
have
be
a
profit.
problem
This is the
with
problem.
profiting off of poor people who can't pay anyway. So fucking hardworking people and the system over to get that money. That is what I have the problem with.
So 50% of the population is really underfunded, Mike. So what's going to happen is you're going to ask doctors and you're going to ask people to deliver top quality care for no profit. You're going to ask all of these people to deliver this for no profit, and you think that is going to make the system better. Let me tell you something. I may not have a clue what I'm fucking
You're
talking
arguing
about, but I know that's not going to deliver
How
anything
much
of quality.
Profit does a nurse, when a nurse goes to nursing school, graduates, and goes to work in an ER, is it all about the profit margin?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I don't give a shit what you say. There's no altruistic fucking goals in these people anymore.
No,
these
it's about
people,
making a
salary. They want to make money.
Salary, contract, salary. Most nurses get paid an amount they agree to when they sign a contract, and that is an expense for the medical industry and that
From
hospital.
profit.
They don't make profit. It's not profit.
Yes, they are. They're a part of the profit.
They are making. It's a salary they are making.
I've had in my fucking life. Without profit, the nurses don't have a job. Without this shit, the nurses do not fucking work.
Are you
all
saying,
want money.
Are you saying the vast majority? Are you saying the vast majority of ERs operate at a profit in America right now? Is that really what you're arguing?
No, that's part of the fucking problem, Mike.
Yes,
isn't it?
Exactly.
That's why we have nurses that are overworked.
The insurance
That's why we have all the problems that we have, isn't it?
Stop the insurance companies from fucking them over so they could operate at a profit, but you're too busy worried that poor people might get something.
Mike,
or
if
that
the
somebody
insurance
might not get
companies are
something
fucking them over, then that's their problem. They need to operate on a different
it ultimately is your problem, and
they
that's what
need
you're
to
not
operate on a different business
that
level.
ultimately lands in your pocket, and that's what you're not.
It's always going to ultimately land in my pocket. The way you are proposing, it's going to land bigger into my pocket, and what's going to happen is you're going to force more. Yes, you are. Because
why do you
just
propose to
guarantee
know more about
that
how
type of
insurance
care
works than
for
me
no
right
profit,
now?
you're not going to have people delivering that care. That's
Those
just the
people
bottom
don't
line.
make a profit on it anyway. There's no profit being made anyway. That's what I mean. You're in this utopian world where everybody's getting rich off of great health care. No one's getting rich off of good health care. There's bad health care and no one's getting rich. But the insurance companies and Big Pharma.
This is fucking retarded. I know a lot of doctors we have gone to the retarded. We have gone to the retarded part. We have gone crazy because it's all based around money. Everything is based around money, and when you say money out of the equation, you can't fucking do it.
I agree. And what you're saying is, instead of taking the profit margin out of collections money and the insurance companies being able to get 3 times the amount of money that they actually, even on paper, say they're getting. Oh, did we get cut off? Oh no, you got frozen. I'm saying, fix that. I'm saying if a bill goes to collections, say it's a $10,000 medical bill that goes to collections because the person can't pay it. Out of that $10,000, $4,000 of it is profit. It now is $6,000 in collections. And you're all worried about quality of care because you think that impoverished people in the fucking ghetto and in South Texas and
so just take money from the businesses. That's what you're saying.
Our care is so fucking great in these places. No, it's shit care.
It should be if you're not paying for it.
Okay, what about the people that go into those places that are paying? Fuck them, right?
Then go somewhere the fuck else, bro.
Okay.
Then go somewhere else. This is Mike.
I just wish we had all the answers like you. You just have all the answers. Fuck the
I know it's not going to work. I know what is 100% not going to work, and that is putting people in a position where they don't make any money off of the job that they're doing. And when you start talking about, oh, this is salary and this is that. If a business isn't making money,
I never said not making any money.
Salary. It cannot pay the nurses. It cannot pay anybody if it's not making money. And there's things in business called revenue streams.
Oh my God!
And you need
slow down. You just agreed with me that they're not making money in ERs in America, but the nurses and doctors are still getting paid.
Why? Because they have too many patients that they don't make fucking money.
Because the most important thing is profit.
Because they have too many people they don't make money on, Mike.
Cut some fucking profit out of it.
You talk right through what the fuck I said,
and you didn't understand a word I just said, Mike. And I think healthcare, you not getting fucked matters.
No, you're so emotional on this. You're not seeing it fucking clearly. You didn't hear what I just said.
But you didn't hear what I just said.
This conversation's gone fucking crazy. This has gone so ridiculous, bro.
The question is,
you cannot do what you want to do and maintain any standard. I don't care what anybody.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all because there's no standard there anyway. What you keep falling back to is high quality and profit. And I'm saying there is no profit and there is no quality already. Let's do something to fix it because the problem is.
So kill the profit. So I think there's way more quality than you want to give it any credit for.
Kill the profit for who have I said to kill the profit for?
A select group of one fucking people.
No, the insurance companies and Big Pharma that get to write, and I'll say it again.
Who is Big Pharma?
Who's Big Pharma? 3 times the money
who
they
exactly
get.
is Big Pharma? Tell me who the fuck is Big Pharma that we want to take money from?
AstraZeneca is one of the companies. You want me to look them all up? Let me just.
No, if you're going to tell me who, you said, who do I want money taken from? This is the question you asked. So tell me who it is.
No, I'm asking you. No, you're telling me I want to starve nurses or some weird shit.
What you asked me was, who do you think I want to take fucking money from? Well, you tell me who Big Pharma is, because you said you want to take money from Big Pharma.
How
Who
about
are
every
these fucking
company?
people?
How about every pharmaceutical company that made over $1 million, and they actually made over $1 billion if you look up the numbers?
Good.
How about
many
every
people do they
pharmaceutical
fucking
company
heal?
that made over $1 million on the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange? Every company that profited over $1 million after everybody was paid and paid well, all bonuses were paid out, all 401ks were matched, all
So $1
stock
million,
options were
$1 million.
hit. Once
we're
all of that is
Tommyland.
taken care of, they get their milli mill. Everybody
full
is paid well.
socialists now.
Their CEOs get their fucking plane. No, because I'm not controlling how much they make.
Bullshit.
I'm controlling
You just said how much they make.
No,
That is controlling how much
Okay.
they make.
you don't
That's
understand
the definition
categories. You're doing the thing where you're like, well, to win the argument, I'm going to pretend like A is B, and I won't allow them to be separate. Like I
No,
said,
but you
you're all about
just
2 plus
said
2,
to
and you never want to
limit
go with
what
the 4.
CEOs could fucking make. Once you get
No,
to $1
I
million,
didn't say. I said the
you get-
company
you
profit
can't make any more
after
money.
the CEO was paid. I said company. Slow down and listen. Company profit after everyone is paid, all stock options met, all 401ks met. It's like I broke this down specifically, and you listen to none of it. After everyone is paid,
Then the
after
company
everyone
gets
is paid.
$1 million.
I
If
said,
they
how
pay
about
it,
$1 million? How about $1 million? How about $1 million?
That's your role.
Why does a pharmaceutical company have to make any more than $1 million profit? Why? Why do they need to do that?
How about
After everyone is
fucking
paid.
research for the next breakthrough? How about
That-
that, bro? Or do
that's
we
not
or we just
profit.
rely on the
That-
government for that shit
Once
too?
again, that's not profit. That is part of R&D, which is in the budget. If
You
they
need
wanna raise
money
the-
for that.
Yes,
This
R&D
is fucking
budget.
retarded.
No,
You need
you're
money.
saying
If you
profit
say no,
is
it's not
everything.
part of R&D.
No, you're being retarded because you don't know basic business terms here.
Yes,
I'm
I
sorry,
do.
bro,
What
but when I say
research
profit,
and
you're like,
development?
what about
If I have
R&D?
if
R&D
I have
is not
50 million
profit.
this year or
R&D
90
is
million
part of
next year, how
cost.
much? How do you determine when I
Cost.
get paid?
Okay,
This
so-
is the retarded part of trying to limit what people could fucking make. Because you get into these stupid, weird fucking gray areas where no one has any
No,
idea
it's
what the
retarded
fuck
because
you're
I'm talking to a man who thinks that an R&D budget and profit are the same thing. And when I go, they're
It
not
all
the same
goes
thing.
into
They've never
money.
been the same thing. There's not a
you
business
limit
class
what
on
they
the
can
planet
fucking
that will
make
tell you an
any day.
R&D budget and profit are the same thing. And here you are
What
screaming,
my
"Ah,
R&D
it's the same
budget
thing."
versus yours? Are you going to
Huh?
limit that too? Because
No,
this is what
I
you
said
have to get.
if they need
This
to
is the
raise it,
retarded part of what you're
and
saying.
what did I say after that? I said, and if they need to raise their R&D, but you were talking over me, so you didn't hear it. But I said, if they need
How do you
to
do
raise
that?
their R&D, if they need to raise their R&D budget, which is a cost of doing business, they raise their R&D budget, which is a cost of doing business. Meaning, okay, if
Oh,
we
so
cap them at
that's
$1
how I
million, let
make
me
the
finish.
money. That-
Let
no,
me
that's
finish
how I
meaning.
make the
Let
money.
me meaning. If
There
we
you
capped
go.
them at $1
There's where I
million,
get the
if we
profit,
capped
Mike.
them at $1 million, if we capped them at $1 million and they could have made $1 billion and they raised their R&D budget $10 million, $100 million, because they feel they need $100 million more dollars for R&D, that goes in the budget, not the fucking profit.
Thank you.
'Cause
So
it's
that's
not
how they make
profit.
their fucking profit. This is the shit that you don't fucking
And what
understand.
I'm saying is they're
without
already
being
making it.
consistent.
Off of your pocket, they're making billions.
And
off
they're
of poor
going to
people who
anyway.
can't pay their
Stop
bills.
fucking
They're
yelling because
making
this is
billions.
what you're not understanding. Now all of a sudden, what you say is, okay, now I have $1 billion R&D budget. There's my fucking profit. This is the problem that there's going to be a loophole. There's going to be something to where someone can take advantage of.
Right,
This is
and you know what
they
we
do
have for
to
that?
make
Yeah,
money.
you know what
The
we
only
have for that?
goal is to make money.
But
period.
you act like
End
there's
of
no
story. End of
oversight.
fucking discussion.
There is oversight there. And if they raise their
No,
R&D
there's
budget
not.
to that level,
Stop with oversight. That's fucking horseshit. There's no oversight with these fucking companies. Absolutely not. And when you start talking about limiting what they can make past anything, there's going to be there's going to be shenanigans and there's going to be garbage. And
okay, cool. You're right. We should have huge,
fail in
unaccountable industry.
if
We
I
should have
banner year. Stop for a second. If I have a banner year profit wise as a fucking business, now guess what? Now I go, oh, I'm going to spend more. I'm going to invest more. I'm going to do more things with the extra profit that I got. That doesn't go into, oh, my budgeting or any horse shit. It is all part of my profit. If my business made way more fucking profit, then I can invest way more money back into my business. This is very basic
How do we
shit.
get more profit? We cut quality of care, and that's why quality of care sucks. And your argument is bullshit because you don't understand.
It only
how
happens
shitty
because you have no
care
fucking
is.
options, Mike. And my argument's not bullshit.
No,
the
it's
only
not
thing is
about
bullshit
that.
is giving people free shit that they haven't fucking earned, and fuck all your poor people.
Your argument is giving unaccountable billionaires more money in a broken
They're accountable
system
more than you
that
fucking
steals
everybody else
from
is.
you.
What are the poor people
You
doing for
pretend like
society?
they're taking care of poor people.
What
like
are the
they're
poor
not.
people doing for society that the billionaires aren't?
A ton of
Oh,
shit.
I'm sorry. Oh, the billionaires are healing all those fucking people.
I don't
You're
know.
right. Sorry. Okay, yeah, great.
Do
Who do I give a shit about more?
do you
Let people make money. I have no
Do you
problem
like
with it.
clean floors and clean food?
Oh,
when you go to a
fucking stop it.
restaurant?
I'm a Mason. I've been outside in freezing weather. I don't care. Yeah,
Right.
you have no sympathy for
But
me
I'm
with
saying
any
you
hard
just
work.
asked me a
Fuck
question.
You get to work.
You just
Go
asked me
get
a
to
basic
fucking work.
question, and you don't want a real answer fair. You said, what are poor
You're
people
not giving me a
doing
real answer.
for the country that billionaires are not? And I said, cleaning your fucking floors, because they are. Vacuuming hotel rooms.
Bullshit.
Changing my oil. I just got my oil and tires
Bullshit.
changed. And you know what? The guy who changed my oil and tires is not a rich man. He owns a small business. And he probably does. I hope the man
And he
makes
probably does
$1
pretty
million
well
a
for
year.
himself because he works really fucking hard.
He probably may, I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say around 100. But he's doing what he wants to do and owning his own business, setting his own hours.
There you
his own
go. It's
boss.
real fucking
I know
simple.
a lot of people like that. What I'm saying.
Exactly. You know why he's in it? For fucking profit. Same thing with me. Same thing with everybody
No,
else.
he's
Like,
in.
listen,
He's in
we
that
have to
because he
fucking
could have
go.
gone to work
It's
for another.
45 minutes
No,
to get over.
that's fair. The answer is changing my tire and my oil, fucking cleaning the floors, cooking the food at the restaurants I go to, stocking the shelves at the grocery stores that I go to. I'm not saying kiss their ass. I'm saying there are a lot of people who do a lot of jobs out there who are not rich, who can barely afford to get by, that aren't bad people, that aren't going to fucking be able to pay a hospital bill. But if it went to collections and it was 60 to 40% less due to the fact they weren't having to pay the profit of the insurance company, then they could probably pay that a lot quicker. You would be charged a lot
you
less.
Know what? If
You
they
would be
didn't have to
charged
pay
a
the
lot less.
profit on a
The
pizza,
bill would be paid. The quality of care would be there.
And
Everybody would
exactly.
get paid except for the insurance company.
And you know what? And they go out of business, and then there's no insurance. And if these people didn't have to pay for the profit on a fucking pizza, the pizza would be a hell of a lot cheaper too. And if they didn't have to pay the profit on a fucking pair of sneakers because they're fucking poor, sneakers would be a hell of a lot fucking more poor
but that's
too.
the lie you're telling. You're not understanding.
That's not a fucking lie,
Guess
Mike.
what? No, the lie you're telling is that the medical industry is the same as sneakers and pizzas.
It
Oh my
fucking is.
God.
They're both making
No.
billions.
Okay,
They're all
I'm gonna
making
ask you
billions, and
again,
they're all
Jeff,
making
off
profits.
what? Off
That's
what?
the difference.
Domino's makes $1 billion off pizza. The health insurance and medical industry and insurance agencies don't make
Why
$1
should
billion
they make $1 billion off pizza?
Of
All they're doing is
broke-ass
pizza.
people
All it is
going
dough.
to the ER. You don't even
Why
let me
shouldn't
finish.
they only make $1 million after their expenses too?
Here, let me finish what I'm saying.
No, fucking answer my question. Why shouldn't they make only $1 million on their things too?
I'll answer your question as soon as I'm done saying what I'm saying. The difference between pizza and shoes is that Nike makes money selling shoes. They make all their profit selling shoes. Domino's makes all their money selling pizza. The
That's not
healthcare
the
industry.
point.
Yes, it is. Because
your point was it'd be cheaper if they didn't have to pay the profit. Yeah,
The
you're right.
healthcare-
It'd be cheaper if they didn't have to pay the profit on any of it. Pizza, shoes, or any of it. Why
you're
the
doing
fuck?
it- You're
why the hell-
defending
why pay
criminal
poor people?
profit. I'm not
But
saying
they're delivering a
fuck up
service,
hardworking
Mike.
people with insurance.
They're making a service. What you're
So
doing
let me
is
make sure you're okay with this. Let me
what
make sure you're okay with this.
Why
You're
are you able to
okay
make money off
with
of
the
poor people
insurance
on
companies.
anything?
You're okay
Why am I
with
able
the
to make more
insurance
money
company.
off
You're
poor people on
okay with an
anything?
insurance company. You're okay with the insurance companies making double the money off of poor people.
No,
by
that's fucking
costing
horseshit
the
argument.
taxpayer.
Stop telling me what I'm okay with, because that's a fucking
I'm
ridiculous
asking.
argument.
I said, let me
That's
make
ridiculous.
sure. What I said before is let me make sure I understand. Let me make sure I understand.
You
won't
should
even let me
understand,
ask
because
you a
I've been speaking very
question.
fucking clear about this
Bro,
the
I'm
entire
frustrated
time.
because I'm going, let me understand. So you're saying this, and you don't even let me finish what I think you're saying to go, no, but let me make sure I understand.
Please
What
fucking
you're
wrap this
saying
up, because
is,
I want to get
if
this
the
fucking show over.
choice is no profit off of collections money and poor people versus profit from you and the taxpayers, the federal government off of poor people, you want profit
Why
off
should
of
anybody
you.
be able to make money off
Let
poor
me
people? Then?
finish the damn
I know what you're going to
question,
say,
bro.
but why should anybody be able to make money off of poor people? This is your argument. You're saying this group of people should not be able to make money off of poor people.
No,
so why should
not this
Domino's
group of
be able to
people.
shut up and stop for a second? Why should Domino's
That's
be
not
able
what
to
I'm
make money
saying.
off the pizza?
That's not what I'm saying. That
is
what
what
I'm
you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
You've been saying the whole time
No,
those people
what
should not
I'm
be able to make
saying-
money off of poor people.
What I'm
So why should
saying is-
anybody be able to make any money off of poor people for whatever they need? Why should the supermarket be able to make money off of poor
I'm
people?
going to blow you away
Why should
here, but
anybody do it?
guess what? Just like cosmetic surgeries, just like actually a lot of surgeries people need, they just can't fucking afford. And so they're just not going to get them. I know multiple people right now that need surgeries that can't afford them, that just are suffering and going to suffer and possibly die because they can't afford those surgeries, okay? Because profit is all that fucking matters to some people. So people have to fucking die.
Yes, making money is
Unfortunately,
what matters,
it's not
bro.
it's not because the surgery is at any level affordable. It's because it's 80 fucking grand and they have insurance. And a lot of people I know don't have 80
And that's
grand
the
laying
problem.
around extra.
We can fix that. We can fix
after
that.
they're
I'm
paying
never
for
defending the
insurance.
insurance companies.
That's because, once again, we'll talk in circles here, and I don't want to do that. The reason that surgery is 80 grand is because a lot of people aren't paying their health care bills.
And
And the reason that surgery is
And it
80
costs
grand
the doctors
is
a
not
lot of
because
money to
those
do work.
people aren't paying their health care bills, and you go, well, fuck those people then. No, those people are still going to try to get health care no matter what. And they'll fraud the system, and
already
they'll
got
fuck
it.
the system,
That's the
and they'll
point.
do whatever they can. They don't have enough.
They're poor. They already
regardless
have
of
health
that-
insurance. The poor have health insurance. I'm so tired of this argument. The poor have health insurance.
Okay. All right, man.
They do. They have Medicaid. We have a fucking safety net for these people. Yes, they do. The poor, every fucking poor person on this planet, because I'm finishing this argument with this, right? Every fucking poor person in America has access to more health care than I have access to now. Period. End of story. I don't give a fucking shit about any of it. And that's listen, I guess what you saw today is you saw two different arguments that are taking place. And this is the problem with our healthcare discussion. Because there's a certain faction that think it should be given, and there's a certain faction that think you should fucking earn it. And I'm a type of person where I think you should earn every single fucking thing. I
That's
don't
not
care if
fair.
you're poor.
While you're making your clothes, that's not what I said. I don't think
It
we
is
should just
fucking what
give
you
it.
said.
I think that it should be a system where the people who can afford it, right, who
There
aren't
is a
paying
system.
it anyway.
We have Medicaid. It's already here. It exists.
Right. So the people who can't afford it and aren't paying for a lot of shit anyway, I don't think that
And that's
cost,
highly regulated.
I don't think that
highly regulated.
cost with a high level of profit attached to it should be passed on to the average American
And
taxpayer
I think what's happening in
and
Medicaid
the
is what
average
you're advocating
healthcare
for.
insurance payer. I don't think that should be the case. Period. The end. That's part of the broken system. That's why people who have insurance can't get surgeries and things they need. That's why people who have and pay for insurance, like myself, still have to wait 2 months to see a neurologist.
Every socialized cared state, there's people out there. You can tell
So-
this fucking sob story everywhere. There's
So if
people
there is
that are
profit,
waiting on
if you
surgeries
can afford
somewhere.
the surgery, yes. And if you can afford the surgery with a
have
healthy
it.
profit margin,
You have private
bill,
health.
if you
You know what
can-
Norway has? They have
Can I just
private health care
finish?
plans.
because I'm agreeing with you. You won't even let me agree with you, bro. If you can afford it with a healthy profit margin involved, let's go. How you want it, let's go. Absolutely. The problem with just writing off or saying fuck the poor people is the evil, greedy, cock-sucking, big pharma health industry
We heard
of
this.
all people will go, they're saying fuck the poor people. So what we're going to do is charge double the amount to take care of the poor people and get that money from them. And I'm saying there's got to be a change somewhere, somehow, where they don't get to charge double for people who aren't paying their bills. It's the most dumbest fucking thing
Yes,
ever.
and you know what that change is?
Imagine,
Let me
bro,
get away
imagine-
from the insurance company.
bro, you're a
and let me
Mason.
do all this stuff.
You're a
Yankee
Mason.
16. I want to lock this. I got to get the fuck out of it. I haven't
sorry.
seen my family where we went fucking 2 hours over on a fucking retarded ass conversation. Before health insurance, what did we do? Is what Yankee 68 said. Yes, before health insurance, I don't know what the fuck we did. Because somehow, you know, we were healthier fucking people. We ate right. We moved. We were farmers. You know, we didn't need a doctor. We didn't need healthcare. We didn't need all that shit. So you heard all of this argument for the hour and 45 minutes. But you know what? Again, what none of us fucking talked about is actually living healthy. Poor people aren't living healthy. They're living off of fucking shit food. And you know what? We are creating sicker and sicker and sicker motherfuckers. And we act like we have some magic fucking pill like getting rid of fucking profit or doing this or universal health care or anything else that's going to fix that situation. And it's fucking not. As long as we're the most disgustingly overweight, obese, disgusting human beings on this fucking planet, then we're going to get the results that we have. It doesn't matter what we do. Doesn't matter any of that shit. Check out Mike, PT Pod. I love a lively debate. That's why I love having you on, because we could fucking.
I still love you.
Go
You're
at it like that. Yeah, fuck yeah, I don't care.
It's still an honor to talk to you always, man.
So,
and I
but
appreciate
listen,
you're the only. Think about the people who couldn't do this and stay friends and still work together. There are so many people I know that if I tried to have a lively, heated debate like this, they'd lose their shit and be threatening my life tomorrow. You know what I mean? So
they're fucking they're retarded. No, I love it, because I look at it. Now, I did view this as a retarded conversation. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I don't understand it. But it's I thought it was a great retarded conversation. But it's honestly, this is the argument that's going around. It's nonstop. It has to be this way or this way or this way or this way. And the only way I see us out of this is a free market solution. I am a 100% staunch free market advocate, free market for everything. I think there should be open markets for fucking everything. And that's it. Listen, I got to get the hell out of here. I bet the baby, I don't even hear him. I've been fucking yelling down here. I kept half the house awake. But yes, definitely check out Mike every day. PT Pod on Rumble, PT Pod. The letter P, the letter T, Pod, and check him out. It's typically goes off every day, 8:00 Central Time, right after us, right after the Caltrop.
Yeah,
he either has the Caltrop rescreen.
I had this one loaded in, and then I got all mad and forgot to run it. So I'll run it.
Oh yeah, it's all right. So he has the Caltrop restream on a couple days. You have your show with Q-Tron. How do you say his name?
Q-Tron on Mondays, Michael Mann, and you. Hopefully, if you can make it. I know you've been very busy lately. Tomorrow's going to be
a long ass day. We'll see.
I know.
But I love Power Sports Time, and then always the weekend mega stream. Thank you guys very much. Finger the fuck out of my like button. Hope you enjoyed this lively healthcare debate. Let's all agree for one fucking thing: be healthier. Get off your ass. Move. Stop being a lazy piece of shit. Stop eating fistfuls of Doritos if you're not moving. See, I could do that shit for lunch because I am picking things up all the time. I shouldn't all the time, and I have to get rid of a little man boobage, but live a little bit healthier, everybody. And then maybe we can fucking stop having this bullshit healthcare debate. Thanks, guys. This Caltrop is, I almost hit the wrong fucking button, Mike. Almost hit the wrong button. Thank you guys very much. This Caltrop is out.